All right, let's talk about the massive shift that's happening in software development right now. AI isn't just another tool in our toolbox. It is fundamentally changing how we work. And this shift, it's got a name, vibe coding. It's all about this new way of working where we, the human developers, are the ones guiding, refining, and ultimately signing off on code that's generated by AI. Today, we're going to break down exactly what that means for you and your career.
So, let's just get the elephant out of the room right away. It's the question that probably pops into your head every time a new, powerful AI tool is released. AI can write code. Am I about to be out of a job?
Okay, deep breath. The short answer is a big, resounding no. Not at all. But, and this is a really important but, the role is changing. It's evolving, big time. We're moving from being people who just write code line by line to becoming the architects who design and oversee entire systems.
And to really get this evolution, we have to talk about something I call the 70% problem. This is where that initial wow factor of AI coding meets the messy, complicated reality of building software that actually works in the real world.
You know why AI feels so incredible at first? It's because it is shockingly good at that first 70% of almost any coding task. You need boilerplate code? Done. You need a standard function written? Bam, there it is. It gets you up and running so fast, it honestly feels a bit like magic.
But then you hit it, that final 30%. This is where the magic starts to wear off and the real hard work kicks in. This is the territory of tricky bugs, subtle edge cases that nobody saw coming, and the high-level architectural decisions that determine whether your project survives for the long haul. You know, the engineer Steve Yege put it perfectly. He said to think of today's AI as wildly productive junior developers, potentially whacked out on mind-altering drugs. And it's so true. It can churn out code that looks flawless at first glance, but it's often got these subtle, weird flaws that only a human with real experience is going to catch. And this leads to this incredibly frustrating cycle. You've probably felt this. You ask an AI to fix a simple bug. Its solution breaks something totally different. So you ask it to fix the new issue, and that fix creates 2 more problems. All of a sudden, what should have been a 5-minute task has turned into an afternoon of chasing your own tail, drowning in technical debt.
So here is the most important part. That final, messy, difficult 30%, that's our territory. That's where we, as human developers, provide almost all of the value. It's where our skills become completely irreplaceable.
Just look at the comparison. AI is a beast when it comes to speed, finding patterns, and just churning out raw code. But humans, we bring something different to the table. We bring systems thinking, the ability to see how everything connects. We bring judgment and the foresight to build things that will last.
Yeah, that 30% isn't about writing simple functions. It's about the big picture. This list right here, this is your new job description. You are designing the architecture. You're making the tough calls on security. You're optimizing performance, preventing future messes, and making sure all these complex, different services can actually talk to each other without falling apart.
So what does this actually look like day to day? Well, it's not about replacing us. It's about creating a really powerful partnership between developers and AI. Let's look at 3 practical ways this is already happening. The first, and maybe most common pattern, is using the AI as your first drafter. You tell it what you need, say, a new API endpoint. The AI generates that initial code, the boilerplate, the basic structure. Then you step in as the senior engineer. You refine that draft, you add proper error handling, you write the tests, and you make sure it's actually ready for production. You own the quality, period.
In the second pattern, the AI is more like your pair programmer. This is a real-time conversation. You're stuck on a complex problem, and you can just ask it, hey, what are some different ways to optimize this database query? It'll give you a few options. Then your job, as the senior partner in this pair, is to evaluate those options, weigh the trade-offs, and make the final call. It's a tight feedback loop where you're providing all the critical thinking.
And in this third model, you kind of flip the script. Maybe you like writing that initial code yourself. Great. After you've written it, you hand it over to the AI and use it as a powerful validator. You can ask it to review your code for security holes, check for edge cases you might have missed, or suggest ways to make it run faster. The AI becomes your super-powered code reviewer. Now, regardless of which pattern you're using, these are the golden rules. They're non-negotiable. Always treat the AI like a junior developer who needs supervision. Always validate what it gives you. Isolate its changes so they're easy to review. And the most important rule of all, never ever merge code that you do not fully understand. You are the final gatekeeper. That responsibility is yours.
All of this really points to a huge shift in our professional identity. We have to start thinking of ourselves less as just coders and more as true system architects.
So what's the real difference? Well, writing code is often focused on a small, local problem, making one single function work. Building a system is about the global design, how all the pieces fit together, how data flows, and how the whole thing is going to scale. It's the difference between a make it work for now mindset and a make it last for years philosophy.
Here's the best way to think about it. An AI is an incredible bricklayer. It can stack bricks faster and more perfectly than any human ever could. But it has no idea what kind of house it's building. You're the architect. You have the blueprint. You're the one who makes sure the foundation is solid and that the final building is safe, functional, and won't fall down in a storm. And that brings us to the single most important idea I want you to walk away with. If you remember only one thing, make it this. AI writes code, but humans build systems. Our value is no longer in just typing syntax. Our value is in seeing the big picture, making the smart decisions, and taking complete ownership of the final product.
So the final question isn't, will AI take my job? That's the wrong question to be asking. The real question is, for you, how are you going to leverage this amazing new technology to elevate your own skills? How will you make that leap from simply writing code to architecting the resilient, scalable, and truly valuable systems of the future?